Well, Mrs. Hoffmann, it's really lovely to have you in Herefordshire with us today, and thank you so much for joining us. And this is just an opportunity for us to have a little conversation, to talk through your experiences and your vision and your insights into education. So perhaps, if you're happy, you could maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and your career to date and your background.
So I trained in Scotland, and I did a qualification that was both secondary and primary. And I wasn't certain when I started out which part of education I wanted to go into. I loved teaching A-level, but I also quite liked younger children. And then when I went into an all-age school and I had the opportunity to teach much younger children, as well as my A-level, I began to realise that I was really interested in how children learn more than teaching the syllabus. So although I love my subject area, which is English, I am more interested in how children learn, why they learn, and what sparks the magic in them. And that started to grow my interest. And I'm a bit of a polymath. I like teaching more than English. So that was another part of me. And so I ended up going into the prep school world. And I have taught children from year 1 to year 13 in my career. I'm quite happy teaching any age. And I think that's been my fascination and why I ended up going into management and leadership, but in the independent sector. Because what you can do in independent schools is develop curriculum, develop ideas, go a little bit further than you can within the state sector. And that was the joy and the pleasure of it.
Absolutely. And that opportunity for breadth of curriculum, that holistic approach whereby one educates the whole person, I know that's something that's really important to you. I wonder if you could maybe enlighten us a little bit more on your thoughts around that.
You can't measure potential. You just do not know. When you see little children and they're exploring and all they have is questions. That's all they have. And I know as parents sometimes we think it's quite annoying, all the questions, and it never ends. But that's actually what you encourage in school. Just keep throwing me questions. And what I want is for children to be able to ask as many questions, but not for us to feed them the answers, but to show them where they might go to find the answers, which might then generate further questions. So that learning is actually a part of their life, they love it, and you can then grow curriculum, but grow experiences. It's not about learning facts and stuff, because we now know technology gives us a lot of that. It's about learning who you are, how you are as a person, exploring your skills and developing and finding out what skills you don't have. And it's all about nurture. And then you discover what you can't do and what you'd like to keep going at and what your skills and talents might be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that ties in with our concept of being real world ready. And as a school, that's obviously something that we're working towards. And thinking about your vision for Hereford Cathedral Junior School, thinking about maybe a few key threads, what might some of those be, do you think?
The one thing I know is that children, you use the word real world ready, children have to be equipped to leave school with all the skills and talents and know how to get on in the world. And you start that from when they're really, really tiny. And you make sure that they have those experiences, opportunities. Digital technologies are going to be critically part of, we've talked a little bit about that across the schools. I started teaching with just a bit of chalk in my pocket, but I'm not afraid of technology because I know that it opens doors. And so we're going to look at how we can include technology and how we can look at all the software that's out there that children should not be frightened of, should be using just to make their worlds more interesting. I want a really diverse, a breadth of curriculum that they can really enjoy. So we'll look at everything that we teach and consider whether that's going to help them be real world ready. But the other critical thing for me are skills. So skills are as important as subject knowledge. And those are the skills around communication, around leadership, around independence, making decisions about when it's a teamwork, when it's a pairs work, or when it's me on my own. Children need to be able to make those choices, and those skills are as critical as learning their subject areas. So I want to be looking at making sure that that's really embedded in our philosophy and our ethos. And whilst this sounds, like there's lots of modern parts, I am really hot on manners. I like good etiquette. I like to respect traditions. It's one of the reasons that I applied for this job and so wanted to be part of Hereford Cathedral Junior School. But I think we can embrace both the traditional and the dynamic and the modern. And I'm looking forward to trying to get that balance right.
Yeah, and I think the two themes, as you've articulated, are so complementary rather than contradictory. And we've obviously got 1,300 years of history behind us as a foundation, but we're looking towards the future in terms of innovation and curricular development and preparing people to life. But so often the things that they need, as you've just highlighted, are those manners, that etiquette, that ability to work collaboratively, to work in a way whereby they can communicate with clarity and precision. So it's about blending all of those things as you've just described really well.
And I want children to be proud of their achievements, but you don't have to be rude to be proud. You can feel pride because you will feel pride in other people's achievements. And I think it is being aspirational and having ambition, but not just for yourself, but for everybody that's in your form or in your house, in your community. That's going to be very much part of my ethos.
And Herefordshire is not wholly unknown to you and your husband, is that right?
No, so I met my husband in Abergavenny. So it's a bit of a circular tour. We're in Kent at the moment, and when we were looking for my next headship, we were looking for parts of the world that we would want to live, that we would feel at home in the world, where we could be part of community, because community really matters. And we were here in Hereford, we were on holiday visiting the cathedral when this opportunity came along. And we could see both of our eyes lit up, said, oh, we love to come back to Herefordshire. Now, my husband used to play cricket here in Herefordshire, and so he waxes lyrical about the beautiful cricket grounds and the whole life here. And so for us, we love our arts, the literature, we love the landscape. I think that we're going to really enjoy coming back and being part of it and finding communities that we can be a part of.
And obviously Christmas is in prospect, only a few days away. We've got the Christmas tree in the background. And what are your plans for Christmas with your family?
We will have a very relaxed little Christmas. We will do dog walking. We will spend time with family and friends and recharge the batteries.
That sounds absolutely lovely. And I wish you a very happy Christmas when it comes. And thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. And we're really looking forward and excited about you starting Easter. Thank you.
It's a real pleasure to be coming here, and I am looking forward to joining Easter. So thank you.
Thank you.